ever watch a Senate hearing so brutally precise, so surgically devastating, that you suddenly realize the biggest threat to American democracy isn't ignorance? It's the people who pretend not to remember the very things they said on camera? Because what Amy Klobuchar did today wasn't just questioning, it was a political X-ray. And Kash Patel. He didn't just crack. He disintegrated under the weight of his own words.
Senator Klobuchar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Patel, I think you know that I have great respect for the men and women of the FBI, their mission, fidelity, bravery, integrity. I believe they deserve a director who respects their work and sacrifices, and they deserve a director who's focused on their mission. This is not about bingo cards or games. This is not about revenge. This is about the safety of our country and the people that work in the FBI. And the FBI runs on facts, it runs on truth. Truth matters, and without truth, the whole system breaks down. You said that Donald Trump has every right to tell the world that in 2020, 2016, and every other election in between was rigged by our government because they were. Yes or no, did you say that?
I don't have that statement in front of me. But
okay, that was from August 27th, 2023 Thrive Time show. I'll put it on the record. These claims made in that statement were rejected by courts, including by Republican judges. Is that correct?
I don't have enough of the facts in front of me to make that assessment.
I will put that statement on the record, but I think everyone in this committee, including the Republican members, knows that these statements were rejected by courts. You were asked about the police officers in the Capitol who testified in the January 6 hearings, and you accused them of lying. Is that correct or not correct?
I don't think that's accurate.
Okay, Joe Pack's podcast, March 2024, we'll put it on the record. I was there. The police officers were heroes that day.
Yes.
Did you post on your personal social media account in May of 2024, January 6th, never an insurrection, cowards in uniforms exposed. They broke the chain of command.
I believe you're referencing a post that was shown in part earlier. I don't have it in front of me.
You posted it, and it was on your account, and we will again put that out there once more as we go on. I don't want to lose any more time on this, but every one of these, there's a record of it, and you haven't answered. You promoted a COVID vaccine reversal or detox supplement. One scientist said, I quote, none of these substances in any form would minimize side effects from a COVID-19 vaccine. That is preying on innocent people. Did you perform clinical trials before you made that claim?
I'm not a doctor, so no.
But you did promote this supplement and told people that it would reverse or mitigate the side effects from COVID vaccine.
Did I give people an opportunity to make an independent choice for what's best for their families? Yes.
You did that last year, correct?
I don't have it in front of me again, Senator.
Mr.
Authoritarian movements don't start with tanks in the street. They start with people like Patel, people who chip away at truth, rewrite their past, and smuggle conspiracy theories into the halls of power until reality becomes optional and accountability becomes impossible. And if you think I'm exaggerating, buckle up. Because what Klobuchar exposed today hits at the core of whether this country will remain a democracy or slide into something darker. Let's get back into it. The moment Patel sat down and started pretending he didn't remember his own statements, the ones we all watched him say, the ones recorded on podcasts, posted on social media, replayed across the internet, that was the tell. Right there. That reflexive amnesia is the first contradiction. They want power, but they want zero responsibility for the rhetoric they use to get it.
Senator?
Mr. Patel, the FBI tackles some of the most complex threats that we face: terrorists, hostile foreign powers, violent gangs, fentanyl, criminal organizations. Your mission, though, has been to go after people. I've looked at it. I've read this stuff. Yes or no? When Trump wins, did you say this? When Trump wins in 2024 and is in power in 2025, we can prosecute them, referring to Justice Department officials for an actual RICO statute violation for criminally organizing the United States government to break the law to rig presidential elections. Did you say that, yes or no?
Again, Senator, you're reading a partial statement, so I'm unable to fully respond.
Okay, again, we'll put it on the record. X22 report podcast 20, that is from, I'll get you the date, about a year ago. One of the names on your list was Bill Barr. You Chairman Grassley has called him one of the most capable cabinet officials I've ever been able to vote for. Senator Graham has said, I have nothing but total respect and admiration for the job done by William Barr as Attorney General of the United States. Is Bill Barr on your list of whatever you want to call them, been referred to as an enemies list? You've called him deep state after serving his country as the Attorney General of the United States. Is he on your list because of a personal vendetta?
Well, it's not whatever we want to call it, Senator. With all due respect, it's not an enemies list. That is a total mischaracterization.
I asked you, I actually used the words you used for the list, which was deep state, right? That's what you put at the top.
It is a glossary
against
in
the
the
Attorney
back.
General of the United States. Is it because of a personal vendetta that he's on the list? You're under oath.
I have no personal vendetta against Bill
Okay,
Barr.
he said about you, you would never be able to command the respect necessary to run the day-to-day operations of the Bureau. That was actually in writing in his book. He had virtually, about you, no experience that would qualify you to serve at the highest level of the world's preeminent law enforcement agency, and that your appointment, as noted by Senator Durbin as Deputy Director to the FBI, would happen over his dead body. Is it, yes or no, why you would put him on the list of deep state as a former Attorney General, Trump Attorney General of the United States, because he wouldn't break the law for Donald Trump? Is that why?
Absolutely not.
As you know, he repeatedly told the president in no uncertain terms that he did not see evidence of fraud that would have affected the outcome of the election. Did you say in February of 2021 that the election stuff was never my job and I stayed out of that stuff?
Again, I don't know what comment you're referring to, but I'm sure you're reading a piece of something.
You said it on Pushback on a podcast. Is it true, though, that in December of 2020, you reached out to the Trump acting Deputy Attorney General and asked him to investigate a conspiracy theory claiming that people in Italy had used military technology and satellites to remotely tamper with voting machines in the U.S. and switch votes for Trump from Trump to Biden? Is that true?
What was the date?
That was out of December of 2020.
I was Chief of Staff to the Department of Defense, so I don't believe that's accurate in any way.
Okay, that came out of testimony before Congress. I will give it to you.
Klobuchar broke that pattern apart. She didn't let him hide behind vagueness, behind selective memory, behind the I don't have the statement in front of me routine. She brought the receipts, every quote, every interview, every timestamp. And when she held them up, Patel retreated into that familiar evasive dance, the same dance we see every time a far-right operative is forced to face the consequences of their own manufactured reality. The man wants to lead the FBI, but he couldn't admit, under oath, that courts across America, including ones stacked with Republican judges, rejected the very election lies he's been amplifying for years. That's not oversight. That's not reform. That is ideological sabotage dressed up as leadership. He couldn't even acknowledge calling Capitol Police officers crushed, beaten, traumatized, defending democracy, liars. That is moral rot.
To you. Have you referred to the media as the most powerful enemy of the United States that they have ever seen? Is that right?
Again, you're reading a quote. I take that
Speech
you're
to
reading it accurately.
CPAC 22324. You said we're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens who helped Joe Biden rig the elections. We're going to come after you whether it's criminally or civilly. Is that something you said?
That's a partial statement of what I said.
Steve Bannon's podcast. You also said you would put the entire fake news mafia press corps on your list. Is that correct? Is that what you said?
I don't have that in front of me.
Benny Johnson's podcast 82123. You have said that the FBI, including today, you said that they remain utterly corrupt. This is an agency with agents who have taken down terrorists, taken down bank robbers, taken down crime. And you wrote that the FBI has become so thoroughly compromised that it will remain a threat to the people unless drastic measures are taken. Do you know that under Chris Wray's leadership, he took over at a very difficult time, we all know that, appointed by President Trump, that during his tenure, the applications to the FBI has in fact tripled? Do you think people would be applying to that agency like in those numbers if they thought it was so corrupt?
The American public's trust in it is at 40%. That's an all-time low.
Did you say that the FBI headquarters should be shut down and reopened as a museum of the deep state?
Mr. Chairman, are we allowed to go an extra time?
Let's see, you get a second round. before I call on Senator Lee.
Could he just answer the question if he said that the FBI headquarters, where they investigate cybercrime and terrorism,
Ms.
should
Chair.
be shut down and opened as a deep state,
Hey, Ms. Chair.
as a museum? Did he say that the headquarters should be shut down?
Mr. Chair.
I deserve an answer to that question.
I
He is
guess it's-
asking to be head of the FBI, and he said that their headquarters should be shut down.
Mr. Chair, parliamentary inquiry.
You got anything you want to say, Mr. Patel, before I go on to Senator Lee?
Simply this. If the best attacks on me are going to be false accusations and grotesque mischaracterizations, the only thing this body is doing is defeating the credibility of the men and women at the FBI. I stood with them here in this country. In every theater of war we have, I was on the ground in service of this nation. And any accusations leveled against me that I would somehow put political bias before the Constitution are grotesquely unfair. And I will have you reminded that I have been endorsed by over 300,000 law enforcement officers to become the next director of the FBI. Let's ask them.
Mr. Chairman, I am quoting his own words from September of 2024. It is his own words. It is not some conspiracy. It is what Mr. Patel actually said himself. Facts matter.
You forget that you had 3 minutes in the next round to say what you just said.
Okay, I'll say him again.
Okay. Senator
And it
Klobuchar.
reveals the deeper truth.
Thank you very much, Mr.
For
Chairman.
people like Patel,
Mr.
loyalty
Patel,
to Trump
I
outweighs
think you know
loyalty to facts,
that I have great
to
respect for
institutions,
the
to law
men and women of the
enforcement, to
FBI,
reality.
their mission,
Then
fidelity,
came the COVID
bravery,
detox
integrity.
supplement, the
I believe
grift
they
that
deserve
sits
a
at the
director
crossroads
who
of
respects
pseudoscience
their
and
work and
political opportunism.
sacrifices.
He
And they
promoted
deserve
it
a
without
director who's
trials,
focused
without
on their
evidence,
mission.
without ethics.
This is not about bingo
That isn't
cards
just
or
irresponsible.
games. This
That
is not
is
about
preying on
revenge.
fear.
This is about
That
the
is
safety
treating
of our
public health
country
like
and the
a
people
marketplace for
that work
conspiracy-driven
in
profit.
the FBI. And the FBI runs on
And
facts.
that's what happens
It runs
when
on
ideology
truth.
replaces
Truth matters,
expertise,
and without
and
truth,
when
the
political
whole
tribes
system
replace scientific
breaks down.
standards.
You said
But
that
let's go
Donald
even
Trump
deeper,
has every
because
right
this
to
isn't
tell
just
the
about
world
Patel.
that in 2020,
This is about the far-right
2016,
strategy.
and every other
Undermine
election
trust in
in
elections,
between was
discredit the
rigged
press,
by our government
demonize
because they
independent
were.
institutions,
Yes or no, did you
collapse
say
the
that?
idea of objective truth.
I don't have that
and
statement
fill
in front of
that
me.
vacuum
Okay,
with
that
a
was from
narrative that
August
consolidates
27th,
power for one
2023
man and
Drive
his
Time
loyalists.
Show. I'll put it on the record.
That's why Patel
These
talked
claims
openly about prosecuting
made in that
journalists,
statement
about
were rejected
targeting
by
Justice
courts,
Department
including
officials,
by Republican
about
judges. Is that
purging
correct?
so-called deep state
I don't have
employees.
enough of the facts in front of
All
me to make
code
that
for
decision.
I
public
will put that
servants who
statement on the
refuse to
record, but I
break the
think
law on
everyone
Trump's
in this
behalf.
committee, including the
That's
Republican
not
members,
democratic
knows
governance.
that these statements were
That's
rejected
textbook
by courts.
authoritarianism.
You were asked
You
about
know
the
who else
police
refused to break the law?
officers in the Capitol
Bill Barr, Trump's
who
attorney
testified
general.
in the January 6
And
hearings,
he
and
still
you
ended up on
accused them of
Patel's
lying.
deep
Is that
state
correct
list.
or not
Not
correct?
because he
I
was
don't think
progressive.
that's accurate.
Not because he
Okay,
was
Joe
radical.
Packed podcast,
but because he
March
simply told the truth.
2024. We'll put it on the
That's
record.
how fragile their
I was
worldview
there.
is.
The police
A
officers
single
were
fact
heroes that
becomes
day.
betrayal.
Yes.
Did
And
you
Klobuchar
post
calmly,
on your
methodically
personal
laid
social
that
media
bare.
account in May of
She reminded the
2024,
country that the FBI's
January
mission,
6th, never an
counterterrorism,
insurrection,
cyber defense,
cowards in
organized
uniform
crime, national
exposed.
security,
They broke the
depends
chain
on
of
truth.
command.
It depends on a director
I
who
believe you're
respects the
referencing a
agency.
post that was shown in
Yet
part
Patel
earlier.
has
I
called
don't
the
have it in front of
FBI
me.
corrupt, compromised,
You
and in
posted
need
it,
of demolition.
and it was on your account.
He's mocked its
and
headquarters
we will again put
fantasized
that
about
out
turning
there
it into a
once
deep
more
state museum.
as we go on. I
Imagine
don't want to lose any
applying
more
for a
time
job
on this,
by
but every one
describing
of
the
these,
workplace as a
there's a
threat to
record
the
of it,
country.
and you haven't answered.
That's how absurd this is. And while
You
all this was
promoted a
happening,
COVID
while
vaccine
Patel
reversal
dodged,
or
denied,
detox supplement.
and
One
deflected
scientist said, I
like
quote,
a man
none
sprinting
of these
from his own
substances
record.
in any
The
form
Republican senators
would
didn't
minimize
defend
side
him.
effects from a
They didn't
COVID-19
challenge the
vaccine
quotes.
that is
They didn't
preying on
correct the
innocent
facts.
people. Did
They
you
joked about
perform
time
clinical
limits.
trials
Because
before you
what
made
else
that
can they do?
claim?
The record speaks for
I'm
itself.
not a doctor, so no.
And here's
But you
the bigger
did promote
picture.
this supplement
This
and
is how
told people
systems
that it
crumble.
would reverse or
Not
mitigate
in one
the,
dramatic moment,
the
but in the
side
small,
effects from
relentless
COVID vaccine.
normalization of
Did I give
dishonesty,
people an opportunity to make an
revisionism, and
independent
abuse of
choice for
power.
what's best for their
When
families?
people
Yes.
start
You did that
pretending that
last year,
conspiracy
correct?
theories are
I
just
don't have it in front of me
opinions,
again, Senator.
when public servants become
Mr.
enemies
Patel,
for
the FBI
refusing to
tackles
lie,
some of the most complex
when the media
threats
becomes
that
the
we face.
most powerful
Terrorists,
enemy
hostile
America has
foreign
ever
powers,
faced,
violent gangs,
when truth
fentanyl,
becomes
criminal
optional.
organizations.
this hearing was a
Your mission,
microcosm
though,
of a
has
much
been
bigger
to
struggle.
go after people.
The battle
I've looked
between
at
an
it.
America
I've read
built
the
on
stuff.
democratic integrity
Yes or
and
no?
an America built
when
on
Trump
authoritarian
wins,
loyalty.
you say this, when Trump wins in
But here's the hopeful
2024
part.
and is in power in
Receipts
2025, we can
Facts matter.
prosecute them,
Accountability
referring to
matters.
Justice Department
The reason
officials
Patel's
for an
evasiveness
actual
looked
RICO
so
statute
chaotic
violation
is
for
because
criminally
truth still has
organizing the
power.
United States
Because
government to
people
break
like
the law
Amy
to
Klobuchar
rig
still show up
presidential
prepared.
elections. Did you
Because
say that,
everyday
yes or no?
citizens,
Again,
people
Senator,
like
you're
you,
reading a partial
refuse
statement,
to
so I'm
sleepwalk
unable
through the
to fully
dismantling of
respond.
democracy.
Okay, again, we'll
And
put it
that's
on
why
the
this
record.
channel exists.
X22
Because we need
report
clarity, we need
podcast
courage,
20.
we need communities that
That is
refuse to
from,
be
I'll give you the
overwhelmed
date,
by
about a year ago.
disinformation, propaganda, and
One
fear.
of the names on your list was
So if
Bill
you're
Barr.
still watching, if you care about economic justice,
Chairman Grassley has
democratic
called
integrity,
him one of the
civil
most capable
liberties,
cabinet
labor
officials I've
rights,
ever been able to
environmental
vote for.
responsibility,
Senator Graham has
and
said,
the
I have
dignity
nothing
of
but
every
total
person,
respect and
hit that
admiration for
subscribe
the
button.
job done by William Barr as
Join True
Attorney
Liberty.
General of
Join
the
a
United
movement that is
States.
bigger than any one
Is
hearing, any
Bill
one
Barr
scandal,
on your
any
list
one
of whatever you
election.
want to call them,
Because the only thing
been
standing
referred
between
to as an
democracy
enemy's
and
list? You
decay
called
is
them
an
deep
informed,
state after
empowered public.
serving his
And we're
country
building
as
that
the
right
Attorney
here.
General of